Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at the ImAllexx response video. So this is a video that honestly came out of left field. I don't think anyone really saw it coming. It's been so long since the whole initial situation even happened. I think most people figured that ImAllexx just like left the internet or whatever, but he comes back with this almost 2-hour long video called My Response. If you don't know what this is all referencing, about a year ago at this point, there was this massive document brought out by ImAllexx's ex-girlfriend where she accused him of abusing her throughout their relationship, and there was just like all of these insane details, right? And at the time, I actually didn't make a video covering it. I don't remember why or what was going on to where I didn't cover it, but I went back and looked to see like my video about it, and there was just nothing there. So apparently I did not cover this when it happened, but like I said, ImAllexx did not really respond when it all happened, and he kind of just up and abandoned his YouTube channel. Up until this most recent response video, he had gone like 11 months without an upload. So like I said, I think we all just thought that this situation was dead. It was in the dirt, right? Nothing was ever going to come of it, but ImAllexx finally responded to everything going on with this video, and so today we're going to take a look at it. We're going to see what exactly is going on with this. It is a pretty insane situation. I mean, this is a pretty massive YouTuber, and before we even really get into things, I want to point out this is also a YouTuber who has made many videos talking about, you know, these kinds of things basically that he was accused of, and even more serious things, people being accused of like sexual assault, all kinds of things. And with people like Slazo, you know, he was really quick to throw them under the bus and just kind of leave them for dead when allegations came out about them. He was really quick to jump and make content about that, completely abandon these people, you know, make sure that he was making videos before they could defend themselves, things like that, right? And then now he's coming out with this massive response all of this time later, and I think simply because of his prior content and his tendency to have done things like that, where, you know, he'll point the finger at other people and everything, a lot of people have kind of disregarded this response in all reality. I mean, it's got a lot of views. It has like over 250,000 views publicly listed, but most of the comments aren't necessarily positive. The video only has like 6,000 likes. The responses on Twitter and in other social media that I've seen have been pretty much universally negative. So we're gonna go ahead and take a minute to kind of talk about and just parse through all of this. I think most people really didn't want to watch ImAllexx's video because of how long it was, and honestly, I'll just openly admit it now, I really did kind of struggle to get through the entire hour and 42 minutes that this video was. It really felt like, honestly, it didn't need to be this long, but I guess ImAllexx was trying to go like really into depth and detail about all this. Now my thing is we've already heard the one side of the story from the ex-girlfriend and everything, so I mean, I have no problem hearing his side of the story. There is usually two sides to the story, right? And I figure, you know, it's only fair after all this time, no matter what ImAllexx has done in his past, how much he's snaked other people and shit on them in these kinds of situations, it's probably just best to hear what he has to say. Now, the thing about his video here, this whole thing, right, is it just felt like it was drawn out so much and like so repetitive. I mean, it just seems like we're kind of overgoing the same four things. I mean, he keeps talking about like Claire's Law and about arguments that we had over the cat and shit like that, right? And honestly, 95% of the shit that they were arguing about in the text messages and the screenshots and shit that he shows, it just kind of blows my mind that a lot of this shit went as far as it did. I mean, there's points in the messages and in like all of the proof or whatever, and like his side of the story where he's like telling us how he was simply trying to speak to the cat that they both owned, and this was enough for them to be like kicking each other and like fucking arguing about leaving one another and shit. It's like very insane behavior. Now, I think the real thing about all of this that has kind of made a lot of people be a lot more negative to this entire video too is the fact that it took so long for it to come out. Now, I will admit, ImAllexx does say the reason it took so long for his entire response to come out, he wanted to be careful, he wanted to put all the evidence and everything in it, and apparently his ex-girlfriend was still publicly making comments from time to time, which I guess delayed his response numerous times. But the problem is, man, especially when it comes to the internet, right? Like, if you're gonna come here and respond with these kinds of things, if you wait an entire year before you say anything and you let the situation completely die, you let like your YouTube channel just completely go to the wayside. Like, a lot of people honestly forgot that this entire thing even happened in the first place. And so when they get the video notification from ImAllexx that, like, you know, he uploads this response, a lot of people, I think, just immediately disregarded what he had to say simply because of that. Like, they just didn't give a fuck. But this response, I think, is a lot different from a lot of other YouTube responses to shit like this. Many times when you see somebody come out with a big video like this, it's them trying to, like, clear the air or prove that they weren't doing anything wrong. In this instance, like, prove they weren't being mentally abusive or whatever, right? In this case, I mean, personally, from everything I saw, all the screenshots, all of the shit that he was telling us in this video, it really doesn't seem like this video is an actual defense. It's just more of, like, explaining the other side of things, which I think is fair, but at the same time, a lot of people came into this expecting for it to be like a defense or like him trying to disprove this. That's not really what happened. And so realistically, this entire video, it was like everybody, if they even had expectations left of what it would be, this video didn't necessarily fit it. And all we really know now from all of the evidence and whatnot from this shit is that, let's be real, both of them were toxic. Both of them were abusive in this relationship. They both have accused each other of physically assaulting one another. They both have accused each other of mentally manipulating and gaslighting one another and shit like that, right? In a perfect world, this probably would have been something that the two of them resolved between each other, considering they were in a long-term committed relationship, but it has now instead turned into this massive situation online. ImAllexx, you know, he has this idea that it's being done or whatever to, like, ruin his career, shit like that. Ultimately, I don't know the girl's intentions. I would assume that, you know, by her gathering all of this and putting it out, she at least wanted to let everybody know what this guy was up to or whatever, and that's how this all started. But at the end of the day, I mean, this video, it doesn't really vindicate ImAllexx. It doesn't say to me like, oh, you know, this guy was innocent and this girl was just bullshitting. It's just basically, from everything I've gathered from watching this video, you know, talking about all the initial stuff to her initial claims and everything, they just both were shitty people to one another. They're both clearly mentally ill. They're both clearly people who should not and probably never should have been around one another. They both respond childishly to pretty much anything that happened in their relationship. I mean, at one point, we're in here talking about how when she was liking comments from fans that they could give her better on the internet, that she was apparently cheating on ImAllexx here, right? Like, I can get why you'd be upset by her liking comments on the internet of people saying this, but these are faceless randoms on the internet, and it's not like she's literally fucking these people, and I don't know, we're equating it like it's the same thing. It really isn't, you know what I mean? Honestly, it just feels like all of this shit that happened, all of this toxicity in this relationship, all of the stupid shit that happened and between both of them, it's not like one of them was doing it to the other and the other was innocent, right? They both, from everything we could see, were just as involved in abusing each other and being insane and just fucking being incapable of solving problems like adults. Neither of these people end up looking good to me by the end of all of this right now. If we're being honest, you know, because when you look through all these texts, there are multiple instances where they're both like threatening to leave each other and end the relationship, clearly like weaponizing it against one another to like scare them into acting how the other person wants them to, but they're always like threatening each other with shit like this, like, oh, well, I'm gonna leave you, I'm gonna go ahead and end this relationship, I think it's over with, right? If either of them at any point had just done what they said they were gonna do, it probably would have saved both of these people so much fucking headache down the road, and honestly, a lot of this probably wouldn't even be happening, because in all reality, I don't think ImAllexx is just gonna wander back into his YouTube career and everything's gonna be normal. Like I said, this is a guy who is very well known online for platforming allegations about other people. I mean, there's the entire Slazo ordeal where Slazo had some pretty fucked up, insane allegations made against him that, from my understanding, were false, and instead of giving Slazo the platform or the chance to defend himself, people like ImAllexx were jumping right on top of that fucking bandwagon, you know, riding it for content, you know, oh, look at what Slazo was up to. So when you kind of have like an online reputation as being the guy who does that, right, and that's like how you act towards everybody else, it does become quite ironic when your own situation comes out where you're accused of abusing women and all kinds of crazy shit, and then you want everybody to wait a year for you to gather your story together, come back to the internet after all this time of not saying anything, and then just you're supposed to be given like the benefit of the doubt or whatever. It is very ironic, and honestly, I think that was probably already kind of like the nail in the coffin for all of this. I mean, realistically, ImAllexx is never gonna be able to like rebuild his entire fucking like reputation online or whatever, right? It's kind of already to this point where everyone who knows him knows about this situation. And truth be told, after it's already sat for so long in so many people's minds, their minds are already like concrete, you know, made up or whatever. You're really just not gonna do much to persuade anybody, right? I mean, even his own fans in the comments of this video, right? On his channel with nearly 2 million subscribers, I mean, I looked through all of the top comments. There's not one comment where someone's like, you know what, ImAllexx, we believed you this whole time, man. We're gonna stand beside you. We support you. It's literally just all of his fans like, wow, neither of these people are mature enough to own a fucking cat, which I mean is obviously true. You know what I mean? Like when you look through all of this shit, you know, arguing about who can talk to the cat, who is allowed to have the cat in the bed, who isn't, like, it's just fucking stupid. You know what I mean? It's just idiotic. It's shit that anyone else could just solve by just, you know, fucking being like, okay, it's a cat. But neither of these two people were capable of doing it. And I know I'm kind of coming at ImAllexx a little hard in this video, you know, and I'm kind of like tearing into him a little bit more than her. But I mean, like I said, both of these people are clearly guilty to me. Like, if all of the proof that's been shown by these two is to be believed and it's not photoshopped and edited or whatever, right? Both of these people were very clearly abusive to one another. Now, to different degrees in different situations, sure. But over the entirety of what we've seen here, both of these people were manipulative. Both of these people gaslit each other. Both of these people probably were physically assaulting one another, you know, kicking each other. I mean, we literally also have video evidence from a Discord call of ImAllexx saying he wants to smash this girl's head with a fucking brick. I don't know if he forgot that people saw that or that was like public and we all could fucking witness that happening or whatever, but I mean, it's out there, man. Like, there is evidence against both of these people. Neither of these people seem to be great people to be in relationships with. Both of these people seem to be extremely mentally ill. And I mean, even in ImAllexx's case, the guy apparently has borderline personality disorder, right? So the idea that he would be being abusive and doing crazy shit like this is honestly not that far out of the picture. And I'm not trying to like shit on people with mental illness, but I mean, it's very clear that both of these people were suffering from mental illness and they were just fucking with each other. They were being bad partners to one another. And it doesn't justify how either of them acted, because I've seen some people online like, oh, well, it's reactive abuse, you know, it's just reactive abuse. Once you're abused for so long, you become abusive. And I can understand that, but it doesn't make it right. It doesn't inherently, you know, make it like justifiable just because you're a victim of abuse or you feel like you're a victim of abuse. That doesn't give you the right to just abuse other people and do that shit to other people. So both of them, it seems like, just kind of conducted abuse against both that just contributed to more abuse from both of them down the road. It was like a toxic cycle. Now, the ex-girlfriend did make a response shortly after this video was posted that I did think was somewhat noteworthy and deserved to be included here because, you know, like I said, we've already seen both of these people tell their side of the story once already, and I think I've given both of them the opportunity, right? I mean, we literally waited an entire fucking year for ImAllexx to come out and say anything here. But one of the claims that ImAllexx made in his response video is that his ex-girlfriend Alice basically was lying to people, saying that she went as far as she could in reporting ImAllexx and like made a police report about the shit that he was doing, talking about him being on Claire's Law, which, by the way, I didn't know what Claire's Law was until this video, but after hearing it like 700 times, I had to look it up. Apparently, Claire's Law is like a UK-based domestic violence kind of thing, where I guess if somebody commits domestic violence or is accused of committing domestic violence, they're put on like this list that I think people can go and like just look up, like a public lookup. It honestly, I know this is going to sound insane, but like here in the US, we have like the pedophile registry list. It seems like it's kind of set up like that, but for a completely different thing, like domestic violence instead of, you know, diddling kids or whatever. After all of this, right, it just seems, honestly, like, did we need the response video to be as long as it was? I don't think so. I think that was a huge turnoff for a lot of people. I think what was said could have been said much more concisely. It got to points where, like, you know, especially with the Claire's Law shit, it felt so repetitive hearing that throughout the whole video. But ultimately, the response is finally here. We finally have heard both sides. I think both sides are in the wrong when it comes down to it here, and that's really all it comes down to here, man. I mean, this is just one of those things where shit like this happens all the time in a lot of different, like, toxic relationships and whatnot, but most people, they don't have this big internet situation kind of unfold from it. So, the response from Alice here is, she quotes that it was, you know, fabricated, LOL, right? And she posts screenshots that claim to be like response emails from people at the police station, which is basically supposed to be proof of a police report. So she's directly trying to refute the claim that ImAllexx made that, you know, oh, well, she didn't actually go file any police reports, because that was like one of his big things is, I mean, if she was being abused or whatever, she lied about falsifying police reports and whatnot. I mean, apparently that's supposed to show that he wasn't as abusive as being claimed, but, you know, she's now showing that she did actually contact the police, if this is to be believed. The timestamps of her screenshots do line up around the time that the allegations and everything started coming out and whatnot, so it kind of does seem to make sense if it's not photoshopped and shit like that. But that's the thing here, man, is both of these people very clearly were in the wrong. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, ImAllexx is the worst person, he was the only one doing all of this, right? It really comes down to both people were abusing each other in this relationship. Both of them were nitpicking in the relationship. Both of them were, like, honestly too emotionally unstable to be around one another. It just is very obvious from that. And instead of just terminating the relationship when they should have, both of them continued it until this point now. And now, honestly, neither of them really look like very great after all of this is said and done. Hopefully, both of them just go to therapy and get this all figured out individually and just never talk to one another ever again, because that's really the only good that can come from this situation now. I mean, like I said, I don't think ImAllexx is just gonna wander back onto the internet and everyone's just going to support him after all of this. He took super long to respond. The response was, to most people, quite underwhelming, and the evidence just suggests that neither of them are innocent at the end of the day. Both of them are very clearly in the wrong for completely different things that they did, you know, whether it be kicking people out of bed or arguing over a cat or threatening to hit each other over the head with fucking bricks, and it just was stupid shit. Like, it was just insane shit that shouldn't have been happening. So anyway, like I said, didn't cover this when it first happened. I'm kind of surprised I didn't. It was a pretty big story when it came out, but this is, I guess, my reaction, and I feel like a lot of other people's reaction to this entire thing. Most people seem to be pretty checked out on it. They've already kind of made their minds up anyway, but I decided, you know, fuck it. I'm gonna give at least the opportunity for both sides to tell their side of the story before, you know, I end up making an update video or anything about it. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, finally talking about the ImAllexx response and signing out.